Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Cross Connection. I am, of course, Tiffany Cross, and we have a lot to discuss this morning, from Donald Trump's legal woes with the Justice Department to the proposed prisoner swap that could potentially bring WNBA star Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan back home. But we have to begin with the midterm elections, now just 101 days away. Get this, in the latest Gallup poll, at least half of Americans are more enthusiastic about voting in the upcoming midterms than in previous elections. But what exactly does this tell us about young voters? Many of them are fed up, but it doesn't mean they're sitting this out this November. Let's take a look back at the 2020 election, where young voters had a record turnout. Now, according to Tufts University, half of the young voters hit the polls in 2020, and this November, that number could increase as young voters are fired up by political issues, like, of course, the Supreme Court's latest ruling on abortion. A lot is at stake this fall, yet in a new poll, more than half of AAPI voters say they've never been contacted by any political party, and this is despite being the fastest growing demographic in this country. Shameful. Joining me is Lynn Wynn. She's the executive director of Run AAPI, Latasha Brown, co-founder of Black Voters Matter, and of course, Erin Haynes, editor-at-large for the 19th and MSNBC political contributor. Very happy to have you ladies here. Erin and Latasha, you look very tanned and nice this morning. Happy to see you again. Latasha, I want to kick it off with you. You're on the ground, moving in communities all over this country. And so I'm curious, what's your consensus about engagement when it comes to the people? Are they hyped and ready once again to battle voter suppression and hit the polls? Or will it take some convincing from community validators to get people engaged? And I just want to point out that someone tweeted me this morning and said it's really not about enthusiasm when it comes to voting. It's about motivation. So I'm curious your thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, you know, the saying hype, they're not hype, but what they are is they're pissed off. That what we're seeing is that we're seeing young voters who are extremely frustrated with what is happening, from gas prices to actually from seeing the Republicans attack from voter suppression across the board. And so I do think that the tweet that you received today, that encapsulates that at the end of the day, people are frustrated, and frustration can actually lead to motivation. You know, I think the Republicans, as they always do, I think this time they went too far, that this was an election cycle. This is a midterm election that normally they would be going in with an advantage. I actually believe that they're going in with a disadvantage. And young voters, I think, they're going to make the difference in this next election cycle. We're at the beginning, I believe, of a new 40-year political cycle, where you're going to see they're younger voters. They're more informed. Some of them are informed, with the correct information because of social media platforms. Some of them are getting information that is not correct, but they're more informed, which means they're more engaged. And I think they're going to be more engaged this election cycle.
You know, Lynn, I think Latasha makes a good point, because social media does play such a big role, particularly when it comes to young constituents, which is why it's so disheartening that so many members of the AAPI community have not been contacted by either political party. The same can be said for Latino voters, and certainly this extends to indigenous voters as well, and certainly Black voters have our own collective issues. But it is a frustrating process that I see, that there still seems to be this effort to censor white voices, and a lot of conservative white voices even, that quite frankly have left the Democratic Party a long time ago. What do you make of AAPI voters continuing to be ignored by both parties?
I mean, Tiffany, I'm not surprised. I'm not. And we did a poll, this was late in 2021, where I think it was a little over 2/3 of young Asian American voters still had not been contacted by a political party, political campaign, a candidate, an organization to get involved. Right. And I think we're starting to see a little bit of a shift here, though. I mean, campaigns, donors, they need to recognize that Asian American voters, they're not just in California, they're not just in New York City. We are everywhere. We're in the Midwest. We're in southern states like here in Texas, in North Carolina. I mean, we saw in Georgia in 2020, again in 2021, where historical AAPI turnout helped flip a congressional district from red to blue, again in 2020. Right. And so I think we're seeing this unprecedented, reports on anti-Asian violence, on hate crimes. Members of our community strongly feel like our own existence is political. And I think the challenge here is that with AAPI, with Asian American Pacific Islanders as a voting electorate, I mean, we may only be 3, 4, maybe 5% of the state's voting electorate. And I promise y'all, these numbers are going to continue to grow. But that's where the difference in a win or a loss in November comes into play. Yes.